Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I am the Chantress of Amun, and I am here bringing you a love reading for the collective. We're going to do something a little different today, but I'll explain that in a moment. I just wanted to say really quick before I begin, if you are interested in donating to the channel, I do have a CashApp and PayPal below. That would be so greatly appreciated. Of course, if you can't, that's fine. But it would be great if you donated a poem or a song for me to incorporate in the readings. I do that. So you're more than welcome to donate those as well, or make requests or suggestions of maybe a poem to read or a song to sing. You're more than welcome to do that. I do appreciate it. I love the input. Leaving a comment is priceless. I appreciate it more than anything. So if you leave a comment, thank you so much. That is just as important as any donation. And of course, you can always like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell to be able to help support me a little bit more. And I appreciate all of it. Every single thing that's done, I appreciate. From the smallest gesture to a bigger one. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really mean it. I'm having a great time doing this channel, getting this going, and using my gifts to help some other people and assist with, relationship issues primarily. I focus a lot on love, sex, romance. So what I'm going to do today, though, is I'm actually going to do a reading specifically for somebody in a third-party relationship. Now, I just want to say before I do that, I do not condone third-party relationships or suggest to be in one. I don't want to give advice telling you should be in one or, to work it out. But let's face it, we're human beings and we all, do things sometimes that don't always make sense. And if you are in a third-party relationship, I just want to give you some advice. What I want to do first, though, is I want to pull 3 cards from Love Oracles. Now, these 3 cards are going to represent you, your person, and the person that is the third party in this relationship. I'm doing that. I won't get too much into the third party. I know you don't want to really hear about them per se. But I'm doing that so we can get a feel for what's really going on in this relationship. Where is this going? Is this worth being in? Are you suspicious but you don't have proof you're in a third party? We're going to cover all of that today. We're also going to pick some messages here. And these are things that your person wants to say to you. So, based on the messages and the reading overall, we're going to find out if this is worth your time. And again, I'm not advising you to stay in something like that, but I am living in a reality where I understand that happens, and you still deserve advice overall. You still deserve to be acknowledged, and I want to help you with it. So we all find ourselves in situations we didn't necessarily want to be in. A lot of time with third parties, you don't know until it's too late. You're already emotionally invested, and it's really hard to break it off because you're in love, and you found out about something, right? It happens. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to give you some awareness on the situation and maybe what you can do based on the reading. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all 3 now. See what we can get here. A good read on all 3 of you. These ones are so big, I'm sorry. So it actually flipped over 3 in a row. So we're going to go ahead and take those. I feel like this is a message from Spirit, given that it's 3 cards. Normally I would shuffle for 3, but it popped out 3 very swiftly. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. Okay, so we have Edward the 8th, Sappho, and Laverne Cox. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with Edward the 8th. Sex does not matter. This is only masculine and feminine energies. It could be any type of trio here. 2 men and a woman, 2 women and a man. 2 women and a man. You know what I mean? It could be all 3 are women, all 3 are men. These are just masculine and feminine energies that help me pick up and understand what's going on with you and your relationship. So we're going to read very briefly a few sentences here about Edward the 8th. Okay. Edward VIII was the king of the United Kingdom and the dominions of the British Empire, as well as Emperor of India and head of the Church of England. His was one of the briefest reigns in history. January 20th, 1936, December of the same year is the only, he only served a year, basically. Edward had fallen in love with Mrs. Wallis Simpson, an American divorcee. Their love affair caused a constitutional crisis, and Edward abdicated the throne to become the Duke of Windsor. Wallis and Edward remained married until his death. Okay, so I'm honestly getting this is the energy of either the man or woman that you're in a relationship with, not their third party, and not you. This is their energy, okay? And this is somebody very strong. This is somebody who might be a little bit entitled. This is a person who expects people to take them seriously and demands respect. This is somebody this person's probably got, I get a feeling of wealth, or maybe on their way to wealth, or they're just somebody who's extremely like respected in high society. Okay, so they could own a business, they could be venturing into one, and I do get that they come from a family of wealth or a family that's highly respected in society as well. So some of the quotes here, though, for Edward are, number 1, one night can follow you for the rest of your life. And number 2, a king is nothing without the woman he loves. And number 3, make your own kingdom and choose your own family. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The energy I'm picking up from all of this right now is that your person wants to be with you, but they're being pushed into something with somebody else. I don't think that their family is very accepting of you. You may not have even met them yet, but if you did, they're not accepting of you for whatever reason it may be. It could be a reason, something that's really superficial. You just don't look right with the person. If they come from money, they might expect them to also be with somebody who has money, something like that. So this person's being prevented from moving forward with you through family or friends or both. Whoever it is who has a strong influence on this person is the reason that you might be having trouble in this relationship. But I do get that they actually want to be with you. So the next one we're going to read is Sappho. Okay. Sappho was an ancient Greek poet, feminist heroine, and gay role model. The first female writer known to Western civilization, Plato referred to her as the 10th Muse. Born in Lesbos to a wealthy aristocratic family, she ran an academy for unmarried women dedicated to the cult of Aphrodite and Eros. Her work became a symbol of the love and desire between women, and she was a prolific poet who is said to have written over 10,000 lines, though little survives. Her lyric poetry was designed to be sung and explored the bittersweet complications of love. This is you. I'm picking that up. And I think that, although I don't usually read them literal for the career, I believe that you actually are a poet. Or you're a poet or a songwriter. Somebody who definitely, lyrics, words, they mean a lot to you. You're very, very talented with it. You're great. You could be a writer. But if you're a writer, you're somebody who writes in a poetic tone. Okay? Now, the quotes are, Love is cunning. Love is a cunning weaver of fantasies and fables. Number 2, someone in some future time will think of us. And number 3, what is beautiful is good, and who is good will soon be beautiful. Okay, I'm going to be really honest with you. In this relationship, and I'm sorry to say this, but you're actually the third party, meaning you're the one who came after. You might not have known that initially. There could have been some deceit there. You may not have been aware of the situation, but the problem with this situation is this person's almost in something that is as old-fashioned as arranged marriages. Maybe not forced into it, but it's highly suggested. So they already had a partner. They already had somebody who was picked out for them, somebody that they were, allegedly going to be with. And I don't think it's sitting well with your person, okay? I think they met you, and so things have changed drastically. You are probably the first person they've ever truly been in love with. I'm sure that they have felt it before and thought it, but I think that they're actually crazy about you. But this is a sticky situation. Yeah, this is heavy third party. There's no questions about this. There's not a maybe here. You're in a third party, okay? I'm not blaming you. Again, just to be clear, I'm not saying that you knew, but this is what the situation is, okay? So number 3 is Laverne Cox. Laverne Cox is a trans icon who rose to fame playing the transgender prisoner Sophia Bursett on the hit television show Orange is the New Black. She was also the first transgender performer to play a transgender character in CBS's series Doubt. As well as being an actress and award-winning producer, she is a prominent activist, spokesperson, and advocate for trans rights. Okay, so you and your person could have met through some type of activism, something that you may have both been advocating for, or a charity event, something of that nature is how you two met and this whole thing started. It didn't start romantically, although I think you both had feelings there. Initially, it was a friendship. I think you were both lying to yourselves, telling yourselves this could be a friendship, and that nothing else was going to happen here. So I do think that you were at least semi-aware that they're with somebody. They probably downplayed it a lot. I think they downplayed it a lot. I don't think you understood that they were actually setting out to marry this person and that it was the family's choice for this to happen, or something to that effect. That sounds a little old-fashioned, obviously, but you can, trade out the dynamics as something more new age, to say you're just from two families in the same neighborhood who don't get along and they want, their child to be with somebody different, or they're happy with who their child is, and then you come along and you're from two different either social classes, streets, whatever it might be. You're from two different places, okay? They're just not approving of you at this moment. Oh, I'm sorry. Of you at this moment. So, let's read Laverne's quotes. Number 1, I'm sorry. My tongue is really tied today. I don't know why that is. Sorry. No one is going to have pleasure on your behalf. Go out and claim yours now. Number 2, let them love you for who you really are. And number 3, embrace those closest to you so that your warmth and power make them strong like you. This is a really strong personality here. And I think that this person is very business oriented. I think that they're okay with being in a relationship that doesn't necessarily have a lot of love. I mean, I think there's more of a fondness and a mutual respect between these two. I don't get love though, okay? So, and I think that this person knows that and they're okay with that. This person, your person, they were okay with this until they ran into you. You have changed their life, in other words. They did not expect you. You were a complete surprise for this person. I don't think they set out to hurt anybody, but I do think that they knew that something could develop, and I think that they had attraction immediately, and it probably should have stopped right there. I don't think that you were super aware of the actual person they're in a relationship with at the time, and I think that when you became aware, you probably were emotionally invested already. I think that you two, honestly, have a very strong bond. I actually think it's probably a great couple, to be honest, but under these circumstances I would never recommend moving forward. But as I said, we're all humans, so I'm going to try to give you a reading on this whole situation and what you can do to try to set things right. So we're going to read from Whispers of Love, but before we do that, what I did want to do was pull some messages. Now, these are going to be messages that your person wants to say to you, typically. That's what we're looking for here, okay? This is the wrong side. Okay. So the first message is, I wait for your call but never answer. This person is yearning for you. They are absolutely yearning for you, and they have been forbidden to pursue this with you. This is that serious. Their family absolutely wants them with somebody different, okay? And while their family isn't going to force them to be with somebody, they do make selections, and it's highly suggested that they pick one of these selections. So they had kind of found someone that I think that this person here, they thought that they could actually, form a good bond and have a good relationship with this person, more from a business standpoint, for looks, you know what I mean? Just because they wanted to present themselves with a person like this. But you're the one they're yearning for, okay? I know I screwed things up. I mean, it's blatantly obvious that this person screwed things up because it really should never have began. I think that they're apologizing to you because you've just found out that they actually were completely 100% attached to someone else. It wasn't a maybe. It wasn't a possibility in your brain. You found out for sure they're actually with this person. So you definitely in a pivotal point of the relationship where you have to decide what you're going to do, but they also have to decide what they're going to do. And in order to be with you, they would have to walk away from not just this person, but their whole family, okay? And or friends or whoever's around them that influences them, that makes these suggestions, likely a parent, but it could be somebody else, siblings or really close friends. They're in a very tight-knit circle, okay? This is like, and it doesn't have to be just family, but this is a tight-knit circle of people who they're in a controlled environment. A lot of choices are made for them. They're influenced heavily. Things are suggested heavily. So they're very used to living this particular lifestyle with very little control over very large choices in their life. And I think it was something that they found they were capable of doing until they met you. So your suspicions are correct. You, of course, started to suspect that this person may be in a relationship with somebody else because they're making public appearances with that person, okay? So you knew fairly quickly, and wait a minute, they're not telling me the truth. And now you know for sure they're telling you that, yes, I am with somebody else. I'm sorry. Okay, I accidentally mixed a sexual note. It happens sometimes. I drop them in there. And so this really wasn't from you or to your person, but I think it's really funny. It says anal sex. So they might want to have anal sex with you. Just a suggestion. Sorry. So this message, the last message here. Oh my God, I can't get this open. Nobody has had my heart like you do. You can't make this up. I mean, it's blatantly obvious what's going on in the relationship. And I have like compassion and sympathy for this person. And I don't think what they're doing is okay. I want to make that really clear. I'm not like condoning this type of behavior. But, you know, until you walk in somebody's shoes, you can't really judge the decisions they make. And it is very difficult to be in a family where, you know, somebody is plopped in front of you and they're saying, look, this is the person for you. And, you know, they're trying to make the best of the situation, and they do see the potential for growth there, and that they publicly would make a very nice couple. And, you know, business, as far as business goes, that would probably be a smart decision. But there's no love there, okay? There's no love here. There is not love between these two, okay? That's the honesty of this. There's no love here. This person is fine with that. This person is a little bit stronger than this person when it comes to family ideals, and they come from a similar background where it's suggested that they're with somebody, and so they have been accepting of this and okay with it. They're not fighting it. They agree that together they would make a power couple. So, unfortunately, that leaves you here alone. Not because this person actually wants you to be alone. This person wants to be with you, okay? I can't make that more clear. They are in love with you. They are fascinated with you. They were forced into something they didn't really want to be in. And now it's very painful because they look at you as the person who really, there's fulfillment there. You know, you are somebody that they just want to be with. They like you. They like your personality. You guys mesh well together. And honestly, you two would be a power couple too, but it would be in a different way, and it wouldn't be in such a controlled environment. It would almost be as if they're rebelling or straying from the family, and that would cause a lot of problems for both of you probably. So this family is not crazy about you, and it's not really anything you're doing personally. It's just that you don't fit in with who they are, okay? And I'm not saying anybody's to blame or anybody's at really fault with this. This is just, you know, we all live different. We all live different lives. We grow up different. We're part of different things. And this is how this person lives. And until they met you, they were okay with that. But you are somebody who they find extremely attractive. They love your poetry, your words, how you speak, how you think. They are just really quite fascinated with you. And it's really unfortunate because I don't get that at all from these two. I see a fondness here. This person is fond of this person. They admire them. They respect them. They agree they would make a good power couple. They might be physically attracted to them, but they don't have that love. There's not love there. There's not a real being in love type of attraction. You and your person have an extremely strong chemical reaction to each other. So it's not just worldly, earthly things that it makes this person like you. It's something a little bit deeper, more organic. It's the type of connection where both people are changed. The chemicals have altered you two, and now you're binding together despite the fact that this person really can't be with you. And they know this. They know that it's just not probably going to happen. But I think they're having a very difficult time accepting the truth. I think that they also don't want to see you with anybody else because in their heart they think that somehow, this is going to work. They're going to work this out. It's going to happen. And it's probably not going to happen, but they don't want to see you with anybody else. It would break their heart. They just don't, they're like begging you in their own mind, please, please give me a chance. Wait, whatever it might be, but there's no point because they have to be with this person. And if it's not, if it's not this person, it's going to be somebody else, and it's not going to be you, okay? I don't know how much more blunt I can be about that because I honestly am getting an energy of a very impossible, almost like tragic energy because this person loves you, and it's not fair. But unfortunately, I think we all know life isn't really fair, so all the time, So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull some cards for the reading through Whispers of Love. We're going to try to get a better feel for what happened, how did this all really start. What can we do? How can we, can we salvage any of this? It's going to be a struggle. I have to be honest. It's going to be a struggle to try to salvage this. Okay. Not just because of lack of trust. Oh, that is an issue now. That obviously you're upset. You don't know if you can trust this person. But this person doesn't even know if they can be with you because they know it's impossible. But they can't. They don't have the heart to move on. They're really in love with you. So, rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take a break. You two are on a break right now because of what happened. You found out your person, they came clean, they told you, and of course you broke things off with them initially, but I think that you two are in the throes of a connection that's not ending and it's actually getting deeper. If you haven't forgiven them yet, you definitely want to. You still want to be with this person. You really don't have intentions of stopping. You broke things off with them to teach them a lesson, I think. Thinking like they would take it more seriously and leave this person and be with you, but they are in something that's so different from anything that you're used to. You're very free. You're free-flowing, a free spirit, and you don't really answer to anybody, and they can't really fathom the way you're going through life. I mean, they're almost envious of it, but at the same time they're in love with it. They're in love with who you are. They love that you're free, and the way they just love the way you live, the way you think, everything about you, really. So it's hard for them to watch that because they want to be part of that. They don't want to be what they're in anymore. It's actually really hard for them to be what they're in now that they met you and fell in love. Before, they were working through it and it was okay. You just don't use emotion to do things, even relationships. That's how they saw things. It's what they were taught, but then you came along and that changed everything for them. So the second one is treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply. This relationship with you is, it's really profound. I actually get that there are reasons beyond anything you can understand that are pulling you toward that person or pushing you towards that person and pulling them towards you. This could be something universal. And as much as I don't want to condone a third-party relationship, sometimes things in life happen that don't always make sense and don't seem, correct initially. But consider this person was pushed into what they were in, and they were really weren't happy. They were being forced to do this, in a way forced to do it. So there's a deep, deep love here, and there's a lot of there's like reason beyond knowing. Like, this is something where I can't explain it, because the bond that you two have and the reason you're with this person might be like on a universal level. I'm going to be honest with you. This is definitely a soulmate, and if not more, okay? But it's an extremely tricky situation. Romance. Lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. So what I'm honestly getting from this relationship, this reading, and the energy and spirit is that you are meant to be with this person, and it might not be a great situation. It might not be ideal, and it might upset some people watching this. But I'm just delivering the messages, and this is what I'm getting. That this is something very powerful, and something beyond knowing at this point. I mean, you might not ever have total comprehension of it until something happens, I guess, but it's definitely meant to be. This is a relationship. You are meant to have this relationship, whether it remains and it's the person you pass on with, or it's just something that happens for whatever amount of time. This is meant to be, and you two are extremely powerful together. Look, those two, they're a power couple. They're powerful together in, the world. In our 3D world, when they present themselves together, they're a powerful couple. But what I'm talking about with you is something much more organic and something on a much, much larger level. Like, this is, like, huge. Wow. It's making me shake, because it's just so powerful. I'm, like, about to start stuttering. Sorry. But, it's just beyond your comprehension, beyond my comprehension. I can't tell you exactly what is going on here, but this is real love, and you were supposed to cross paths. Even if it didn't happen on the best terms, it was supposed to happen, and you will find out in the future why. Whether you're with them or not, you will find out why. Okay, so we have, I love you. These are powerful words. It's a confirmation this person does love you. If you're having doubts because of, the technical cheating here, they do love you, okay? They do love you. Whether or not you should stay in something like this, even if they break it off with that person, it's completely up to you. I can't give you advice for that. I don't think it's appropriate. But if they break things off with that person and continue with you, I want you to know that they do love you. There's real love here. And even if you don't end up with them, there was real love here. Something beyond our knowing. Demonstrate love. Find out what is important to those you love and act on it. So, this is complicated. I'm almost speechless, because again, it's beyond my comprehension and yours. Unfortunately, Spirit isn't giving me enough messages to really translate what's going on here, because I feel like what they are giving me and attempting for me to download is so large. I'm not able to immediately unravel it and explain it to you. It would probably take me time, like really concentrating and like really honing in on this relationship for a while, and then putting all the fragments together to figure out what exactly is going on here. But I do know that this is on a large scale. This is something like really, really important. And I can't say that I can tell you should continue with this person. But what I can say is that they definitely love you. You definitely love them. And this was meant to be, at least a meeting. It's meant to be, okay? Like attracts like. If you long for more love, be more loving. Again, these are a lot of love, like messages that strictly revolve around you loving someone or being loving towards someone. I really believe that Spirit is telling you that you need to have forgiveness in your heart. I believe this person is going to leave the other person and they want to be with you. The choice you have to make is if you can forgive them for, lying to you, the deceit, but also if you wanted to, if you want to be in a situation like that where they were with somebody and now you're with them instead, you know, you have to decide if you really want to go there and do something like that. What I can say is that there's a lot of love here, and if they choose to do the right thing and at least leave this person and let them know what happened and then attempt to be with you, you do have a real love here, and it's important. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is pull some playing cards. I'm just going to get what I want to do is get a reading on your future regarding this relationship. But overall, just what kind of reading can we get here for you? You're my concern, and I want to make sure that I'm giving you the best possible read on the energies and what's going on here. I don't want to mislead you in any way. So this card represents new projects, something new happening, something new developing. You have your sights on something that you're looking to develop further. It could be this relationship. This could be a card representing a new beginning for you too. You're going to move into a better cycle. But I have to remind you, it's going to be very difficult for this person to move on, not from the other person. I think they have no issue doing that. I think they would do it. They would do this today if they could. But what their issue is going to be with is moving on and starting anew without the people who normally are around them. That's what it probably would come down to. And this could be a card representing that for them as well. A new project is underway. Your relationship could be the project, or you two developing a life together could be the start of something new. Okay, so the Two of Clubs is actually a card of planning and preparation. So what I'm really getting from this reading is that they are, no matter how hard it is, they are going to find the strength to move on from what's going on in their life that's preventing them from being with you, however they have to go about doing that. It's going to take some time, and it's probably going to be a little dysfunctional at first and cause dysfunction for them as well as you, but it is meant to be, and they are going to come to a place where they can do that. So this card is a representation of the planning and preparation that you two are going to have to make as you move into a new cycle together and really, start a real relationship built around trust and love. So we have the Four of Spades, which is a card of recovery, and I think that that's just representing your relationship. You're going to definitely have to find a way to recover from the lies, the deceits, and also from the fact that they are going to have to kind of move on from what they're used to that's around them in order for you to be with them, or and this is a big or, because I don't know if this could happen, or that there's a way where they are accepting of you, okay, and they allow you into that circle, and your person stays with the same people around them, but they finally accept you, understanding that this person really wants to be with you, and they have to make an exception to some rule they have, or whatever however you want to say it. So we have the Seven of Spades too, which is a card of lying and deceit. Clearly we know what that is. So not only did they lie to you about having a partner and deceive you, but they also were not honest with you about what was going on in their life with their family. So there's a lot of lying and deceit. But I will say that they didn't do this to purposely hurt you. They just were not expecting you, and they didn't really know what to do when they realized they were in love with you, because they knew what was coming at that point. So they didn't know how to cut ties and say goodbye to you because they wanted to be with you. That's just the truth. They want to be with you, and they don't really know right now how to make it more clear and communicate with the people around them that they really just want to be with you, that they do love you, that you are their choice. They want to break it off with the other person, and they're just trying to figure out how to do that right now. So you have a very challenging road ahead. So I'm feeling a little bit of advice for you here. A little more. We got the 9 of Hearts here. This is actually a card of sensuality and pleasure, and I think that this is what, like, kind of the dynamic that you're going to have, or you do have with this person, especially if they move on and they do the right thing and you two are together in a legitimate relationship. There's going to be a lot, I mean, there's going to be a lot of challenges, don't get me wrong, but there's also going to be a lot of pleasure here. I think that you two are extremely compatible physically, sexually, aside from in other ways, so I think that that's definitely a big part of the attraction, but I don't get that that's all that's there. I do feel that there's more there than just that. But you're going to have a lot of fun with this person sexually and romantically. They are definitely the type who this person wants to romance you, okay? They like romance. They enjoy it. And they want to buy you gifts. They want, just to put a smile on your face. And I'm sure they also want to say sorry for how things started out, so you have a challenging road ahead, but I also feel that there's a light to the end of that tunnel, and not giving up is important here. But doing the right thing is also important. I don't always know what the right thing is or the righteous thing, but definitely staying away from them while they're with somebody else it is what most people would say is a good idea, right? And that's just because you don't want to hurt the other party. I don't get that person. I get that they're a very strong person anyway, and I don't think these two are in love. But it's still sometimes those things still hurt. So you need to make sure that they have done the right thing before you continue on again with this person, if you pick things back up with this person. The 4 of Diamonds is actually, this can represent losing money or a job or something else. Now, I would take that in this reading as, given the circumstances around this, if their family is not accepting of you, you could be seeing a future here where they have to cut ties and they take a great blow to their financial resources, okay? They might have to start all over again, and which will be another challenge. Obviously, when you're in love with somebody, that should be one of the last things you're worried about, and you're a capable human, so I don't think you need to depend on them in that way, or you won't need to. You'll come together and work on stuff together, or both have your own professions or whatever it may be, but they're going to take a great decrease in pay in some way or another, and you're going to have to be really supportive with this person because they're going to be going through a lot when all of this goes on, okay? So just a warning. We got the 10 of Diamonds here, so that's interesting. That's a contrasting card to the last one. This is taking a loss or a pay cut. This is great wealth in your future. So the way I would read that is, if your person does cut ties and all of that stuff happens, they are going to take a huge, pay decrease initially, but something great is going to happen. This person comes from money, again, as I stated before, so that all of the family might not cut ties with them, but if they do, this person still already was established enough to where they were generating income. They would just be taking a pay cut in all of their ventures with whoever is threatening to cut ties with them. They would take a pay cut there, but this person is capable of making money. So you will end up with great wealth and together and be back on your feet. I think that your first year together is going to be really rough. And I want to make it clear one more time, I don't condone third-party relationships, but they do happen. They happen. And the person you're reading for isn't always the girlfriend or boyfriend. Sometimes it's the third party. And unfortunately, in this situation, that is the case. You have to make a decision as to whether or not you can forgive this person for their lies and deceit. But your person needs to make a decision on whether or not they want to actually pursue you 100%. Without this person and whoever else refuses to support them in this relationship. Okay? So I'm going to wrap this one up here. I hope I helped you. I try to be as honest as possible. I mean, I don't like to sugarcoat, but I am sensitive, so I try to, give you the messages as kindly as possible, but I'm not going to ever, just omit something or not tell you what I'm seeing or feeling. We're going to go ahead and read a poem really quick before we wrap it up. Okay, so I'm reading a poem called Man with a Thousand Faces. Sorry, you guys. It takes me a minute to pull them up. Just bear with me while I do that. Hold on. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm having trouble with the phone right now. I'm debating even reading it because it's like it's giving me an issue that actually takes a few minutes to fix.
Here.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, it's not. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just not pulling it up for me for some reason today. There's what it's doing is making it virtually impossible for me to pull it up. So we're gonna go ahead and skip the poem today. I'm sorry about that, you guys. I could have read another one, but I just feel like that was the one I picked. That was the one that was meant for the reading, and I can't pull it up, so I'm sorry. The name of the poem is Man with a Thousand Faces, though. I do have a link to my poetry below. You can go to Poem Hunter and read any of my poems, and they're in alphabetical order. So if you want to read Man with a Thousand Faces and find out, how that relates to you and the person that you are in a relationship with, you are more than welcome to do that. So we're going to wrap it up here. I hope I've helped you with the situation. I don't condone a third-party situation, but I am human. I know they happen. We all get into situations that we don't really expect sometimes, or there's not a lot of honesty in the beginning, and you don't even know what you're getting into. So I just would like to give a helping hand here. I just think this is going to be a complicated relationship, but it's profound. This is a profound relationship with a lot of promise, okay? It's just going to be a struggle. You're going to have to really put your all into this. This is going to take energy. This is going to take work. This isn't going to be a simple, breezy walk on the sand, in the sand. So I'm going to go now. I hope you join me for my next reading, which is probably going to be a pick a card. I like to do the sexual romance pick a card readings, so that's probably going to be the next thing that I post. Again, I'm trying to get on a better schedule for you guys. I know it's confusing, but I'm really trying to implement some structure here and be more particular with what I'm putting up, so that you can come here to get that from me. Okay. If you want any more information on me or my poetry or anything like that, everything's below. Again, you can donate to the channel. I would appreciate any type of donations. That would just be awesome. But of course, if you can, liking the video, subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell, you're doing an awesome job of helping me just as much as any donation would. If you want a reading, the price list is below, okay? I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I'm going to go now. Chantress.